What's up, gamers? Lucas Siegel here for WWG with a very special guest. It's not every day we get to chat with a colleague in the business. You may know her from her modeling, acting, singing, production, as the host of IGN's Daily Fix. She's the talented, the geeky, and the lovely Naomi Kyle. Naomi, thank you so much for joining us. How are you doing today?
I'm doing awesome. I'm super excited to do this professionally with you, like work together on an interview, and as opposed to just meeting each other randomly at cons. So
Yes,
it's nice to see you.
Absolutely. So we are, of course, a part of Comicbook.com, and you're heading out to Stan Lee's Comic-Con this weekend. I have to start by asking you, what are your personal faves right now in the comic book world? What's top of your stack when you go pick up new comics?
Top of my stack, Saga. I gotta say, I don't know, the combo between the art style and that it's this kind of hyperbolic version of Star Wars. Has always been just great and enjoyable for me to read every time I travel. It's like one of the main things that I read up on my Surface tablet that I have, and I just download every one monthly, and I follow the story. It's this ongoing series that everyone needs to get on board with.
Yeah. I've been a big BKV fan since back in like the Y the Last Man and Runaways days, and they're doing incredible stuff on that book for sure.
They really are.
So, as a big comic book fan yourself, what do you like about comics in particular as a storytelling medium versus the other mediums like TV and film that borrow so heavily from them?
I think for me, it's comic books have always done a good job at going for the less common story themes, or going to themes that are a little bit harder for movies or TV shows to tackle, darker themes. And I think that that's the appeal for me anyways. When I read a comic like Watchmen, or I read up on, Saga or anything in the DC universe, I just feel like they tend to push the button a little bit more than movies and TV shows get a chance to do. It's becoming more common now in TV shows to, show violence or darker or, more current political themes. I think that it's still something that comic books kind of own the space in, and continue to push the button further and try to kind of innovate lines of storytelling. So I really appreciate comics for that reason.
Yeah, absolutely. Of course, The Walking Dead did manage to push some buttons and some limits this week.
They did. People were really a big fan of what they did, but it's definitely received mixed opinions. But I think that it started in the comic book world. The Walking Dead compendium is one of my favorite, most treasured, pieces of comic book that I own, and I really think that what The Walking Dead is doing now is that they're recreating the storylines. They're also taking a lot of what made The Walking Dead comic books so appealing and bringing it to the TV screen. And of course, it's going to shock some people because comic books did that. They started out being these like just grittier, more based out of the love with storytelling, and based out of the cool thing that people want to see is something new and a story that has never been told that is exciting and fresh.
Yeah, so, definitely.
Yeah.
Well, when you appear or work at a Comic-Con like you're doing this weekend, how much time do you get for yourself to just go roam the floor, go to panels, be a fan, that sort of thing?
I do sometimes have a chance to walk around the show floor. I think E3 is the one where, as much as I am a fan of being part of E3, I hate that I have to work the entire time and never get a chance to walk around and check out the games that are playable sometimes for the first time at cons like that. But I have a good example of like a time where I did get to explore a little bit, which was actually Stan Lee's Comic-Con event from last year, where I got to be behind the scenes because I was also one of the talents at the con. But walking behind the scenes, you get to see a whole other side to it. They were holding this like cosplay contest, and so I just got to watch and observe some of the coolest cosplay that was going on in the show without missing any of them because they were all right there. Awesome. So for me, that was a great geeking out moment. But it's through shooting my own vlog content too, that I get a chance to really get a feel for not only the people who are there, some of the people that I idolize, but also some of the fans that I get to sometimes meet and hang out with a little bit more. So I think walking around, sometimes getting a chance to shop, like at SDCC, that's something that I got to do maybe like the first year I went there. Since then, it's been a lot busier, but I do get a chance to every now and then.
Well, it's almost like you're sitting here reading my questions. It's almost like we've both done this sort of thing before. But I know that you interact with your fans a lot on Twitter, and you've now taken that to the next level with your Ask NK video series, your vlog series. What made you decide to do that and to bring it into that new dimension?
I think it was through interacting with fans on Twitter that I found something. There was just like a vibe I got from the audience that wanted to know more about me as a just a regular human being, not someone who's always on camera, kind of portraying this persona. So I took that and I kind of ran with it. I thought. Up a hashtag, I started using the hashtag, and then that turned into the show version, which lets me explore, go deeper into answering questions that fans have, because oftentimes they'll ask a question, and with 140 characters, you can only say so much unless you want to start spamming people's feeds. So I thought doing something that's more entertaining and will go deeper into my thoughts about a certain subject or whatever the question entails. And I think that it was really a good opportunity for me also to explore being creative on YouTube and being having scheduled content as opposed to just here's a vlog from last year that I never got to put up, and now you're randomly seeing it on a Wednesday. So I thought creating a show that's got a scheduled release and is a lot more fun and gives me a chance to explore doing little skits or talking about the music I'm into, just gives people more insight into what I'm about, and of course it allows me to be a little bit more creative and have more creative control over the content that I'm in.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
I like that. So we have coming up,
Yes.
Doctor Strange, Arrival, Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them,
Yep.
Moana, Rogue One, A Star Wars Story, Assassin's Creed. It is an absolutely insane last 2 months of the year for geeky movies.
It really is.
If you had to pick one you're particularly excited for over the others, which is it and why?
I think you hit it on the head with Assassin's Creed.
Really?
For me, yeah, I think being a huge fan of Ubisoft as the studio Ubisoft.
Yeah, absolutely.
One of my biggest pride and joys because I'm from Quebec and stuff. So I feel like the fact that they're making a really high production, Hollywood quality movie out of a franchise that I already really love, based on, from a studio that I love, it's going to be interesting to see how it turns out. I'm just so excited about it and really curious to see how it comes up and if it's well received by people who don't really know about the universe.
Right.
I love the cast that they chose. Michael Fassbender was perfect choice in my opinion. I love that guy. He's such a great actor. So for me, it's more a curiosity thing and an excitement thing. I'm also interested, of course, in Rogue One because huge Gary Whitta fan who was an original writer on the screenplay for that.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see how it turned out after it finally went through, the Hollywood rigmarole, and I just hope that it's as hyped up and good as people have made it out to be just based off the trailers.
Yeah, absolutely. Assassin's Creed, I've got high hopes. I feel good about it from the trailers.
Me too.
I feel like it's going to break the video game movie curse a little bit here and really.
Yeah.
I think they made the really right call making it based off the world, but a new story in that world rather than based off one of the games.
Yeah, and I hope they really take a chance to explore what's cool about the Assassin's Creed games rather, is that it's their history. It's the history that they explore, the different periods of time. I really hope they go deeper into that side as well, because from what I've seen, it seems like they do a lot of exploring of what the kind of what the real world part
The
of
modern day
Assassin's Creed
stuff with
versus
Abstergo,
the
yeah.
actual in history moment. Sorry?
Yeah, the modern day stuff with
Yeah,
Abstergo and stuff,
exactly.
yeah.
So I hope they really get to explore the history side of, as deeply as the Assassin's Creed games take a
Yeah.
chance and explore.
Well, fingers crossed.
Yes.
As I noted in your intro, you are pulling yourself in a ton of different directions right now. You've
Yes.
got modeling, you had your summer Playboy shoot, you have acting, you have singing, voice acting, production, hosting, con appearances. What is driving you right now to pursue so many different career directions simultaneously?
I think it's a good time for me after having been in the industry for, I don't know, like 5 years now. I feel like I've come into my own creatively, and I really want to take opportunities and explore different outlets on how to be creative. Music, for example, is just the thing that I like to do as a hobby, but like, what would that look like in the Naomi Kyle branded outside, public persona that I've established? So what does that look like, and can I do it? So it's like more, I just set challenges for myself. I feel like, that opportunities arise to where I'll run into, I met this award-winning producer, Chaka, and we decided, to do music together. We had, this one song that I'd written like months before, and we decided to tackle it. And it was just like, upon meeting him, I was like, this is an idea to explore. Let's do it. So I think through the different contacts and the people I meet through networking, I've had an opportunity to come up with different ideas on how to put myself out there creatively, because the bottom line for me is I get to I love being creative, and so being able to do that with different folks that I meet around everything, cons around the world, that's the thing that holds me together, is the fact that I just love working with people, and I love being creative, and if I can do that in different outlets, then I want to do that.
Excellent. Well, I know you, like myself, play a lot of games, both for
Yes.
work and for fun. So when you're sitting down on the couch and you are popping in a game just to play for fun right now, what are you playing?
Yeah. Just for fun, I've been playing some WoW, actually, World of Warcraft.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Because the thing I discovered upon, I had to like crash course myself on the World of Warcraft game, because I was told, oh, let's give a try out of the World of Warcraft just got a new expansion. Let's do a live stream. And I'm like, okay, I've never actually played it, but gave myself a week to crash course myself. And upon doing that, I realized that this is actually such an easy hop in, hop out experience, which for me, not only am I a huge fan of RPG games and anything with medieval kind of fantasy lore to it, I want to be fully immersed in that, but I also want to be able to do that without having to go through 40 hours of story. So World of Warcraft just seemed like the perfect fit for kind of my busy schedule, and just being able to sit down, play a little, quest here and there, start progressing slowly but surely to level up, and that was just, it fit everything that I kind of hope for and look for in games. But most of the games I've been playing prior to that would require 70 hours of my time, and it's just not possible with the schedule I have. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that's fun. It's always fun to discover a game like that and then find out, oh, well, there's a reason why, like, cities full, nation populations worth of people play this game.
Exactly.
All right. Well, I know you geeked out pretty hard when you played some modern VR for the first time.
Yeah.
If you could take any character or any franchise that you love and put them into a good, proper modern VR experience, who would it be? And you can't say Batman because we just got Batman. I know we want more of it, but what franchise would you want to see get the VR treatment next?
I think just if we're thinking in terms of franchises that are already out there in the world, it'd be really awesome to go on adventures with Lara Croft, in a Tomb Raider kind of world experience. Any character that we've connected with throughout the years, whether that's, Nathan Drake or anyone from, the DC or Marvel universe, or past games, Crash Bandicoot even. Like in a way, VR lets you connect so personally, but not personally, with some of these folks, and kind of their stories. So you get to imagine a world where you get to meet, Gandalf from Lord of the Rings, and being able to do something like that in VR would be really rad. That said, I also have thought of my own kind of character creation, which I would love to meet in person, but she's kind of like an emulation of me, which is my Emerald character.
Okay.
I don't know if you got briefed on that a little bit, but yeah, I created this comic book character. She's comic book themed, I guess. I don't know that she only lives in the comic book medium, but she's this really strong, kind of geeky character who has this second persona called the Emerald. She's like a vigilante type who goes out to save the world from the apocalypse. It's a little. Anyways, there's a lot more story behind it. I don't want to go too deeply into it. She's a lover of animals, but she would be really cool to see in a VR world. And I've kind of explored that idea of like how to introduce her, and maybe in a VR short experience, people would get to meet her as she, kicks butt, and tries to take down some thug.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
and
so, like,
that transmedia stuff is getting big.
Sorry?
That transmedia stuff is getting really big, where people are kind of launching a product across so many, and you're very uniquely positioned to do that.
Yeah, like it's not just comic books anymore. Now it could be, explore, the TV world, or the movie world, or the VR world. There's so many different mediums now. It makes it an exciting time to create really cool characters.
So women in geek media have to be somewhat superheroic on their own. They face some unique challenges with internet and real life harassment, stereotypes that they're constantly battling. As someone who's broken through, has embraced your fandom, and found a way to explore it, what advice would you offer to geek girls and other female content creators out there who are trying to work through that sort of thing now?
I think, yes, it's important definitely to embrace the audience, the positive audience that you do have, because those are the folks who will drive you forward, and the ones who actually are, the folks that you want following you, the ones who are, the negative trolls, or however you want to call them. I say, first off, definitely ban them. Don't let them, meddle up your comment section or anything like that. They don't deserve a voice in your chats, any of that. They're being negative also for a reason that you might not think is true, but I've definitely come across this many times. It's been proven through some of my interactions with them, that oftentimes they're just looking for your attention. And if you do call them out on them being terrible to you for whatever reason, just respond back, call it out. And you'll often see that they respond back with, "Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to be so negative and a total poop head." So I think that as much as possible, try to focus on, that more positive perspective, and, work hard and focus on your work. In the end, you're there to do something that you're passionate about, and that should be the driving force more than anything. And in the end, it's all about who you are, and that you're being true to yourself.
Solid advice. Pumping the positivity and working hard always helps.
Yeah.
All right, Naomi, free plug time. Anything else coming up right now, or anything you're working on that you are just crazy about that you would like to tell the fans about?
Yes. Well, I know it's a little early because it's only starting next year, but South by Southwest is going to be happening. Every year. There's a huge South by Southwest event, and I'm on the gaming advisory board, so I want people to, stay on top of what's going on with South by Southwest.
Congratulations.
Look for anything about the awards, because I'll be kind of a deciding factor in that. Also, I'm up and coming. I'm an up and coming voice actor now. As I Expect You to Die. It's a VR game is set to release in December, and it's going to be a cool exploration of my foray into voiceover, because I get to portray this really cool British act. I'm not going to spoil too much, but basically I'm a British-speaking voice actor in this game. So I say look for that. I Expect You to Die is up and coming. You guys should already know about it. I'm also in the game with Anthony Daniels, who played C-3PO. So that's pretty cool, and that's about all I've got, I think. So Ask NK would be another thing to look for. So go to youtube.com/Naomi Kyle. And look for the penultimate episode, which is airing next Tuesday at 2 p.m. on that channel. So that means 2 more episodes to go, but you can go back and watch the first episode, of course.
Penultimate is my favorite word that we get to use so often in this industry.
I know,
it's so
right?
much fun.
Right? It's my second favorite word next to verklempt. But yeah.
And for fans who don't know about I Expect You to Die quite yet, that sounds like a very Bond-esque line, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. It does. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Naomi. It was an absolute pleasure chatting with you, and best of luck on all the stuff that you're working on right now.
Thanks a lot. Same to you, Lucas.
And thank you, gamers, for watching. Make sure to follow Naomi on Twitter at Naomi Kyle and her production company account at Lemon Oak Tree. And follow us at WWG, at Comic Book, and at Comic Book Now for all your geek news needs. For WWG.com, I'm Lucas Siegel.